Hello everyone, welcome to Physics Wala Dad. I'm Dr. Patil and today we will be talking about the UPSC CMS examination 2025. Many of you are already aware the written exam result is out and many of you were in touch with me during your preparation period and you have cracked. Now you're wondering what next. So before I talk about what next, first let me congratulate you for this well-deserved success. It's your hard work, dedication, and talent which has led to this phenomenal, successful result. So, congratulations once again. Now, those who don't know what this examination is all about, let me give you the context. Union Public Service Commission, which also does the examination for IAS, the same board, conducts an exam called as Combined Medical Services Examination or CMS examination for recruitment of doctors to central government medical services. This year, the exam was conducted on 20th July 2025. And as you know, the exam contains an MCQ based written exam followed by an interview or personality test, something similar to IAS exam. So many of you who had appeared have cracked it. Now you are found eligible to appear for the interview or personality test. Apart from your written exam, interview or personality test also carries marks and you will have a combined result later once the written result and interview is conducted. So for all those who have cleared the written examination, now it's time for you to prepare for the interview or personality test. But before that, there are some caveats that you should be aware of. What is that? Now, while applying for the UPSC CMS examination, you have filled a form where you're given your details. Now, your details might have errors. Now that you're found eligible to appear for the interview, the UPSC CMS board gives you a 15-day window period after the declaration of the result during which you can edit your details. So please make sure that you visit the website, go through all the details you have entered. This form that you have filled is called as detailed application form or DAF form. So go through your DAF form. If you find anything which is not accurate or erroneous, please edit it diligently, because after this 15 days window period you will not be able to edit any information, and if any information is found wrong, then you will lose your candidature. So please be very careful. Okay, now once you have edited and you're sure that your details are precise, now you have to start preparing for your personality test or the interview. But again, let me remind you that your details that you're filling in the DAF form will be assessed by the board, and if you don't have the document to substantiate your claims, for example, you may be eligible for the OBC quota or EWS quota or scheduled caste, scheduled tribe quota, or personalities with benchmark disability quota, you need to carry those certificates to the personality test or interview. If you fail to carry those certificates, then you will not be allowed to appear before the personality test board. So please make sure that once you have made sure all the details are accurate on the DAF form, you gather all the documents required to substantiate your claims, right? So first start that process, finish that process in next 1 to 2 days, and then start preparing for your interview. Okay, one more important thing, the interview, the schedule, when it will be conducted and where it will be conducted will be communicated to you through the UPSC CMS board. The board does not entertain any request for change in the time or the center for the personality test. Be aware about that. Now, the written exam is cleared. What next? What should I do next? How should I prepare in the limited time available for the interview? What kind of questions will they ask me? How should I behave during the interview? And what are the do's and don'ts? That's what we will be discussing today. First, what to do next? Start planning for the interview because it is of 100 marks. Generally, the interview will run for around 20 to 25 minutes. Who is going to interview me? There will be a personality test board which will have a panel of 4 to 5 members. Out of that, at least one IS officer is expected, and remainings are going to be doctors. Doctors mainly from clinical specialties like the surgery, medicine, obgyn, ortho, ENT, and PSM. Now, what are they going to ask me? I'll come to that, but let me reassure you that this board or this stage is not just about testing your knowledge, because you've already given a written examination and they know that you have the minimum knowledge required to be a doctor in government services. Then what is this board all about? This stage is set to assess your personality, your clarity of thought, and your attitude as a future government doctor. Now, you might have seen a lot of these IAS mock interviews on the social media. Something similar is what you're going to face, because it's not about your theory knowledge, but it's about your personality, clarity of thought, and attitude. But nonetheless, you still need to carry little bit of theory knowledge. So let's see what all I need to do to prepare for this interview. You need to know the basics of the clinical specialties. For example, you need to know the core medicine topics and some common emergencies that are usually seen in India, like the MI, stroke, trauma, burns, obstetric emergencies, shock, then snake bite, organophosphate poisoning, the diseases that bother India. You need to be thorough with them, particularly emergencies. Then you should also be thorough with the national health programs. For example, TB elimination program, or the NCD program, or the maternal and child health related programs that government of India brings. So PSM is still very, very relevant. Then you also need to be updated about the recent bills passed by the government which are particularly relevant to healthcare. So all the health policies and bills passed by government you should know. And because COVID-19 gave a lot of lessons to the healthcare administrators, doctors, and this whole profession, you should also be familiar with COVID 19 as a disease and the messages that COVID 19 delivered to the community health. You should be aware about that. You are also expected to know little bit about current affairs, especially with respect to health. From where do I update myself? At least from now onwards, start reading these newspapers, the Hindu, Indian Express, or PIB on a daily basis. And then, for just like any exam, you need to practice. So please practice mock interviews to refine your body language and confidence. Who will conduct this? You can take help of your seniors, so PGs, or your college professors. Anyone who can sit in front of you and ask questions at the same time should be able to assess whether you appear confident or whether you appear arrogant, whether you appear underconfident, and start working on the traits pointed out by them. What kind of questions they will ask? Well, the kind of questions they will ask, I can classify them into four groups: the personality related questions or personal questions, situational questions, knowledge based questions, and attitude based questions. The personal questions will be like, tell me about yourself, what are your hobbies, what scholarships you have received, what are your achievements, and why CMS and why not need PG or private job. For this, why CMS and why not need PG or private job, please be sincere and carry a story of yourself, like why actually you chose CMS over need PG. Honestly, you should be able to tell it, but convey or deliver that message in a very succinct and simple way. So practice telling why you chose CMS over need PG or a private job. Now, what are these situational questions? They will give you a situation and ask you to answer that. So they basically assess your thought process. How do you think as a leader or as a task manager? For example, if they say, like, if you were a health minister, what changes would you bring so that a particular disease incidence or prevalence can be brought down? Or how will you handle a particular healthcare challenge in a rural setting? These kind of questions. So just run your creative thoughts and give the answer. Be honest, that's it. Knowledge based questions, I'm personally anticipating less of knowledge based questions and more of personal questions, situational questions, and attitude based questions. Anyway, if they ask, be aware about it. I have already told you, you should be aware about the core medicine topics, core surgery topics, emergencies, and the diseases that are relevant to India. The same thing applies here. The questions are going to come from those topics. And then when it comes to the attitude based questions, they will assess you in terms of honesty, clarity, positivity, and empathy. So be prepared for that, right? So you're expected to be honest. You're expected to have the clarity of thought on whatever topic you're talking about. It's not wrong to take a side. Okay, this is how I'm going to do. This is wrong. This is right. It's not wrong to take a side, but you need to have the clarity, and then you should have the positivity. And any circumstance where empathy is expected from a doctor, you should be able to empathize and convey that you empathize in that circumstance. Okay, now how should I behave during the interview? First of all, don't be nervous. Nervousness gives a very bad negative message that you are not confident. With respect to dress code, be in formal dress. Of course, we all know as doctors we should be in formal dress in all formal situations. The formal dress need not be very flashy or expensive. Dress in a simple, neat, formal dress. Your body language matters. So when you walk into the interview chamber, walk confidently, greet everyone politely, sit upright, not stoop forward, or तरीका थोड़ा सा कैजुअल था वो नहीं होना चाहिए. Maintain eye contact with your interview board. Especially you should be able to shift eye contact from one person to other person when they are asking question. Whoever is asking question, have the eye contact with them. In between, if anyone raises a concern, shift your eye contact to them, so that everyone feels that you're confident and you're addressing them point blank on the topic that needs to be addressed. Be clear and concise. Don't beat around the bush. What they're asking, they only want to know that. They don't want to know too much of information. If you don't know, say politely, I'm not sure, but I would like to learn. This is a very simple way of saying pata nahi kuch. But make sure it is conveyed in a very polite way. Sir, I'm not very sure, but I would like to learn. Please never bluff, because the people sitting there are quite experienced. When someone like me catches you bluffing during your bedside postings, they are experienced, so they will catch every bluff that you are throwing at them. So please don't buff. And when the interview is over, end politely, close with a gratitude. Say, sir, pleased to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. What you should do, revise your detailed application form thoroughly. Every line can be a question, especially in the interview when they ask personal questions. So you should know what you have filled. You can't bluff there for sure. Stay updated with the current health related news. Show confidence, humility, and a positive outlook. Practice with your mentors, friends, or teachers, whoever can improve your fluency. What you shouldn't do, don't get nervous if you don't know an answer. Just politely say, sir, I'm not very sure, or I really don't know that, but I would be keen to learn about it. Don't give long, confusing explanations. It's a negative point for you. And don't appear overconfident. We see, like most of the seniors know that you are an MBBS fellow. They know what is the level of knowledge expected from you. So don't try to appear that you're as knowledgeable as a super specialist or as knowledgeable as a specialist. What you know, just tell that without sounding overconfident. At the same time, don't appear too casual. Some of you might think that if I give a cool vibe to my interview board, they would like me. No, you are a doctor. Doctor is supposed to be a serious person dealing with serious situations. So you're neither supposed to be too casual. तरीका थोड़ा सा casual था, ये नहीं चलेगा. At the same time, you can't be overconfident either. Be confident and be straight. Now you are already among the best, clearing the CMS written. That proves your strength. So the interview is to judge your memory. It's definitely not to judge your memory, but to see your character. So walk in with confidence. Every answer you give is a chance to show your dedication to serve the nation. Believe this. If you come this far, nothing can stop you from crossing the final step. Absolutely nothing can stop you from crossing the final step. Remember, please remember, they don't want a textbook walking in a form of human. They want a humane, compassionate doctor. He may not know everything in the textbook, but he has the zeal to acquire the knowledge so that he helps his fellow human beings. That's what they are looking for, and that's a very important message to all of you. So I'm wishing you all the best for personality test and the interview. Once that's done, please share with us how was your experience. That will help us to refine training the next set of students who want to appear for the UPSC CMS examination. All the best, guys.